It is 20 minutes-ish after that time, 21 hours played. We are going into Act 3, and I must admit, I am a bit concerned. Because it is, as I said, 11:35. Silk Song comes out in 4-ish hours. And if Act 3 of this game is anywhere near as large as Act 2 was, which was what, close to 12, maybe 13, 14 hours, because I can't do basic maths. It's not going to get finished today. That made me jump. Thanks, game. Am I using the best version of this? And by this I mean the bubble. Now I guess we're just waiting until... Whoa! Are they just keeping coming? No. Right, loadouts. That's the better version. That's the best version. Yeah, we were using the basic one. Hold on, me. The better version was admittedly in our other axes, so... it's a tad spoopy down here.
According to my calculations, you're headed towards Mount Obek.
Mount
Oh,
Obek?
imagine the time it took the Fall Guard to dig through all this rock. The dedication. Wait. Remy? Remy? Remy?
Tania, sound off. Tania.
Okay, guess we're on our own. What a rush! As shadow and silence weave the twilight's veil, what a rush! I seek thee, and in thy embrace I shall fade into your arms. What dread stirs in my breast, yet still thou art sovereign above all. Sing this in your head, sing it again and again till you reach the lights. Well, they're telling me to do something in my head and they're telling me to repeat it, so I am gonna write it down. Shadow and silence. We've twilight's veil. Oops. I've got off the paper and started writing on my keyboard. Well done, me. Seek thee, and in thy embrace fade into your arms. What dread stirs in my breast? Still thou art sovereign above all. Yeah, I'm totally going to be able to read my own handwriting. Should have been a doctor with handwriting like this. Funny aside, well, vaguely funny aside, I suppose. When I am marking students' work, I've always been an annotator, which is why it's always taken me so long to mark students' work. You know, I like to try and explain the process of helping students improve, and you can't do that if you just stick a number or a letter on their work and say, yes, this is an A. Maybe try this. Have you thought about doing this? Is this what you meant? And so on and so forth. You know, just the extra things to guide the students. And of course, then when I hand the work back, we need at least a lesson. An hour, probably.
Remy? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear.
I was afraid of this. The drone's communication array can't penetrate through all that rock. I told you we should have upgraded the drone.
Tanya, you're breaking up again.
Remy? 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 Shit. I'll try boosting this again.
Oh, come on. Why do I feel like I'm in a really bad long-distance phone call commercial?
I do like the somewhat flippant... I mean, it's not meta tone that they've had with some of these conversations, but it's worked quite well. What was my point? Yeah, having an hour's worth of lesson for feedback because students can't read my handwriting. Admittedly, normally when I'm writing a feedback, I am not trying to scribble something down whilst playing a video game and not wasting too much of the viewer's time. Because time is precious. That's why I recommend that people watch my videos at 1.25 or 1.5 speed. And not just because I think my voice sounds pretty decent in slightly sped up chipmunk fashion. Because I'm used to it when I'm editing my... well, editing. When I put together my videos, I play everything back at double speed. Which is why sometimes I catch things, and why sometimes I don't... why sometimes I miss things in the edits in terms of really long pauses.
I've boosted the array to its limit. This is probably the last time we talk. I think you're almost there, wherever there is. Don't take my word for it, though. The drone's readings are erratic. Take care, Remy. Stop the calamity. Good luck.
Tanya. Well, Cappy, finally, alone at last.
Huh. So is this going to be one of those Act 3s, which you sometimes get in video games, where you get like 10 hours for Act 1, 20 hours for Act 2, and then 30 minutes for Act 3? Because it does feel suspiciously like we're just going down a tunnel here. Save for our battles against limbic entities, no trial set upon our shoulders by Sethuris has weighed heavier than this one. Yet we press on, broken but steadfast. We are near now, my brother generals. This we do for our brotherhood, venerable fathers of the Order of the Iron Guard, and for Sethuris himself. But above all, we do this for our beloved Hadians, whose fate rests in our hands. So this is literally just, they buried into the centre of the mountain. I'm going to assume there's a big-ass time loop or a gate to hell or something. Long and not so winding road, traverse the tunnel from the Limbic Forge to the Eye of God. The Eye of God. Oh. Oh. There's a giant limbic thing. Created over the centuries by the hatred of these two sides? Lots of little yellow interactables. Orb Cobalt. I feel a great sorrow while holding it. Feel a great bliss. So sorrow's grief. Bliss is ecstasy. Fear and terror. Anger and rage. And Baropism. Oh, uh-oh. Sek the Unimpressed. Drak the Humorless. Zorgab the Compassionate. Jish the Temperate. Oh, God. This needs writing down, doesn't it? Well, no. We could probably pull this one up. Excuse me. Once the orbs return to their keepers, the failsafe shall be revealed. Oh, so we do need to write down... So, Gabran, Terror, and that's the weird rectangle thing. Drak, which is ecstasy, is the little snowflake thing. Jish the Temperate is rage. And Belgran is grief. And that's the weird drippy symbol. Oh. The love of our country, Sethus be with you. Is this some kind of emergency bunker? What's with all the tech? No, hell is us. That's been constantly repeating. Those are big. That's what he said. Okay. Ah, I see what we're doing. Oops. We're heading to the statues. Sloosh! Yeah, we're heading to the statues with the correct symbols. And exploring... and I suppose finalising? Finalising our understanding. Oh! Ah, and we're going to stick the Right, so I need to get to this one. For Gabron, which is Terror. No, Demajen, you know how... Ooh, these guys are big, aren't they? How am I getting... Oh, hold on, there was a... Oh no, that's how we came up, but we can't... Big! So are these going to be like mini-boss things? Oh, I see, they're escalating. And they are... Whoa! And they are time loop guardians as well. Some dead dudes. Just away. Ah, there's the time loop. Got to figure out how to get to the appropriate statues.
December 31st, 1992. The sphere is beginning to stir. Seismic detectors showing faint activity. Palpable charge in the air, 0.5 ppm ozone concentration, olfactory confirmation. Radiation levels nominal. Slight increase in gravitic profile. Spectral analysis initiated. Calibrating sensors. Stand by. Electromagnetic shielding activity. Rising gathering on the platform. This is a problem. Engage containment procedures. All hands, evacuate immediately.
Nice. A succulent meal. Ow! Oh, yeah, sure. Ugh. Do I have better health perks? I do, don't I? Yeah, I've got loads of them. Okay, well, if there was any desire to level up any more weapons and stuff. Oh yeah, drones. Oh, I could probably use the big drone on the big dude. What's this one? No, not what I need to deal with. This one? Yes. This one is Rage. At least I assume that's how it's working. It's the right symbol anyway. Oh, these are... It looks like this is a reasonably combat heavy area.
July 15, 1990. The following is a compilation of acoustic profiles generated by the sphere. Stimuli. Sample A. Exposure to ultrasonic wave bursts. Frequencies ranging from 32 kilohertz. Acoustic response. Sample B. Enclosed in high-strength up to 40 teslas. Acoustic response. Sample C. Diamond core ore. Diameters ranging from 10 nanometers to 1 meter. Pressure exceeding 1. Surface gauge. Acoustic response. Sample D. Acoustic response. Sample E. Exposure to extreme thermal fluctuations. Surface temperature
Yeah, so it looks like, and sounds like, they've been studying this for a while. Right, we need this one. This is grief. I suppose it because it looks like the weeping eye. Hudson, run a bypass. I don't think I will ever stop referencing that. We don't need the eye. Hello, friend. I didn't even see the second one. Oh, there we go. Every now and again, the game just locks you out of attacking for reasons. It's so wibbly. Oh, it's actually a sphere. I hadn't realised from back there. So this is the Eye of God. So called, I assume, because it looks like an eye. Gold hats. The world, jeez, this place is massive. It's the entirety of the mountain, isn't it? I love stuff like this in games where everything is just so big. Hold on, we've been here. Is that just? That's just connected us up back through this way, hasn't it? You can. I think they are my least favourite enemy in the game, and it's not like there's a huge number of different enemy types, and I'm sure for some people that will be frustrating, but again, I don't really think that this game is combat focused. It's got combat, and the combat is fine. But the focus is very much on the puzzles, I think. We need to get over there. We need to get to that one. There was no way round from here, was there? No. Don't get me wrong, the layouts for these areas they're quite video gamey, aren't they? Oh, hello. No, darn. Okay, I saw a ladder. Yeah, so we've got to kill the big... Oh no, this is just here.
Personal log, July 15, 1991. It's been 2 weeks since I began working in the Sphere's antechamber. This morning, I recognized something odd about myself. It took this long to even notice the difference. It's quite awkward to describe. I feel nothing. No emotion whatsoever. No excitement, no anxiety, no disappointment, no pride or frustration, no sexual arousal. I suspect this is happening to all of us. How is this possible? Are we being drugged by the Council? The obvious answer is the Sphere. But how? What mechanism drives this emotional vacuum? Imperceptible fluctuations in atmospheric pressure? Infra or ultrasonic tones? Nothing shows up on the instruments. The Sphere remains absolutely inert and completely inscrutable.
Oh shit. Bonk. What the? I'd just taken my eyes off my screen to look at the notes. I assume there was something lingering on the floor that I'd not noticed. Stuff. Yeah, really grand sense of scale, to the extent that the lights are provided by balloons that are being held aloft, as opposed to need to get down there. Oh, it's just through here. shows how much I... Oh, hello. Right, is this the... Yeah. So this is... Tower. Which should be the only one we've got left. I did a thing. Oh. The thing has been done and I can't actually see what it is from here. They're firing the lasers. Are they firing the lasers at the time loop? They are.
Now!
Are they shooting each other in the back of the head? Yeah, they created this. Oh, he just shot himself. Oh! 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 Okay, so very much a case of, yes, small act in comparison. What's that done? Oh, the ground is... Or is it dropping the entire thing into the... Oof. Is this like an active a volcano or something? Or is it... Wait! Why have we not been able to use that as a gameplay mechanic? Oh. Well, I guess the drone. Well, we did a thing. And this is where we get captured. Yeah.
This wasn't just about weapons. Think of all the good that could have come from this. Imagine the advancements in medicine or the scientific breakthroughs we could have unlocked.
That's the
anyone in Hadia, if they give a shit about your scientific breakthroughs.
Take the moral high ground. Let's see where that gets you. Leave us. Usually, this is my favorite part. But I don't know. You're different. Almost forgot. Did he lie about anything?
Yes,
Oh, really? What did he lie about?
I'm still alive. Look at you. Compromised by your emotions. Can you walk?
I'm not sure. How did you...
I'll tell you on the way. Come on. Tanya's waiting.
Where are we going?
Home. We're going home.
Huh. But a violent event. I don't know why it's got my name in the top right hand corner. Well, that was... That was, in some ways, that was exactly how I expected it to go down. I was hoping that Act 3 would catch up to the interrogation and continue on from there. But I guess they either didn't have the time or they didn't know what to do. And considering the epic cutscene thing that we just did, I can kind of see why they wouldn't want more gameplay after that. I mean, the drone's gone anyway. We've lost all our gear. You know, you don't want something anticlimactic in terms of gameplay. So fighting off against 4 big-ass things and then essentially dropping the Eye of God into a volcano or into the Earth's core or a pit of magma. I don't know. I don't know. And the question is, do we need to know? No. Have there been enough drops of information throughout the game about the conflicts and so on and so forth for that to be a satisfying ending? And that is a difficult thing to balance, because you want enough to be revealed for it to be satisfying, but equally, if you put too much as optional content, then your players are likely to come away from that feeling bleh. And I did, I think, a reasonable amount of the content in that game. And I'm coming away feeling pretty satisfied with the gameplay experience. But as is often the case, looking at that ending and thinking, is there enough? Is there enough explanation there? Do I really get enough of the story, such as it is, for that to be satisfying? I really liked so much of the environmental storytelling, and as an endgame area, that looked great. It had got that almost that eldritch horror sense of scale, that we are tiny in comparison. But was there really enough explanation of what the time loops were? Yeah, I get that they were caused by... Well, no, I think I get that they were caused by humans doing incredibly shitty things to each other, where strong emotions anchored something in this land where so much has been distilled in terms of emotion and complexity and hatred over thousands of years, over the centuries. It's a narrative that I think you have got to piece together from reading all the stuff. And I did read through all of the stuff. The thing is, though, there was a lot of stuff. You know, it's clear that there were entire histories written out for the different eras that the background of this game presented. I almost want a history book for this, the history of Hadia, where you take me through a timeline, you know, with full spoilers at this point, where you take me through the timeline of the various dynasties and conflicts that went through the centuries, because they were interesting. You know, I know they were in many ways a vehicle for puzzles and pushing and rotating statues and so on and so forth, but there was a lot, I think, of time put into the history of this game, because that's the point. You know, the history builds up to the modern conflicts. You know, things that I can say for certain that have kind of not passed me by, but are kind of niggling away at the side of my head about that 33-year cycle. You know, is every 33 years this place goes to shit? Every 33 years some catastrophe happens. Every 33 years some betrayal takes place. Was that the implication? It's just like it's not even that I've got a lot of theories. I'm actually just a bit overwhelmed by the richness, the depth, the sheer volume of history and storytelling and environmental storytelling that has gone into this. I think it's actually quite... I think I was doing alright when I was playing it, but now I'm trying to summarise my thoughts at the end. It's like, you know... Oh? Found it.
Identification confirmed. I have got located.
So it can't be destroyed. Your journey through Hadia leaves echoes across time. Reload your save game to continue unraveling mysteries, completing good deeds, closing time loops, and unlocking the vaults of forbidden knowledge. The story might not yet be finished. Okay, we've got a little Eye of God symbol completion on there, 22 hours. Where does this put us? It puts us at the final stage of the story. And we can travel back to the APC. Yeah. So in terms of what do we have to do? As far as I'm aware, these are all done, but the trophy's bugged. We've got a limbic door in Hilltop in Sinedra. Yeah. So if I really wanted to, and I'm going to do some of this, but I don't think I'm going to do all of it. Not now, at least, because I want to edit together part of Act 2 and get that rendered before Silksong comes out. There's...
Find anything out there?
No. No, I did not. I've been saying all the way through that I think this is a really strange game. A game that is definitely not going to be for everyone. Hold on. Do we now have the ability to get through this door here? I mean, I would definitely need, I think, to... Ah, we can now get through here. I will probably need to use a guide to find the rest of everything, frankly. Oh, that's the time loop. It's interesting that it's only a level 1. Oh, you're still alive. Oh, and that's all we needed. In the private writings of General Furion, spire sings tonight, halls echo with the wails of the damned. New research item, wonderful. Okay, that's... somebody getting... yeah, stabbed to death in the bed. Huh. Can actually get out here. Interesting, there's no reward. I suppose we got some more story. Right, so that is... I suppose our reward we can go and get at the end, can't we? So that's now been complete. Yeah, interesting that we've got one mystery that I haven't even discovered. It's not a case of, oh, I haven't found the thing for it yet. It's that I haven't actually discovered it. Let's take a trip to the internet. Sonedra Forest Mysteries. I'm intrigued now as to what I've missed. Ah, there's an emergency stash in the... yeah, there's an emergency stash in the Arcus Spire. I these are things that I will just look up and do off camera, because I'm never going to be able to remember where the bits and pieces are for each of these. The time loops, on the other hand, are things that we could probably get sorted. Yeah. I'm not going to record this. I think I'm pretty much done. In fact, I need to go and take a break and rest my voice anyway. I've really enjoyed Hell Is Us. I think that ending was entertainingly cryptic. Even with all the storytelling that has gone on through notes and so on and so forth in the game, we've still had
Let me know if you need more information
that
on
sense
something.
of not truly knowing
Nice find. Let's run it
exactly
through the
what is
database.
going on. Sabin's thesis. Great schism in Setherism.
I'm done writing my piece on the Haslins, the ancient Hadeans.
Oh, the first Hadeans and the birth of Setherism. Manuscript draft. Some would have you believe a great mystery is about the setting, atmosphere, suspense, red herrings in the lots. Granted, they have their place, but I think it's much simpler than all of that. A great mystery must have simple questions beating at its heart. Who, where, when, and more importantly, why? When my partner brought back fascinating Haslin artifacts, it immediately caused me to ask these simple questions. Who were they? And could their history parallel modern Hades somehow? History tends to repeat itself. There are certainly some lessons that the first Hades can whisper to us through the ages. The more I delved into the Haslins' history, the more I felt it was a story worth telling. A large group of hunter-gatherers crossed into an undisturbed valley known today as Hadia. They adopted a sedentary lifestyle and developed a new belief system that would send them on a path of never-ending conflict. Suffice to say, I was hooked. A large and brave group of hunter-gatherers known as the Haslins crossed the treacherous peaks that surrounded Hadia. The date of their arrival is largely debated among Hadian scholars. Some stand firm at 9000 BC. Oh, that was everything. While others suggest a much earlier date, around 11,700 BC. Recent discoveries in the mountains of North Hadia support the latter date. Why would a large group of hunter-gatherers risk a perilous journey through some of Earth's most dangerous mountain ranges? I should know. Made the journey across, but with modern equipment and an expert guide. The Haslins face winds that could attain 160 miles an hour, sub-zero temperatures and thin air. Some experts say it was due to a famine, while others suggest the Haslins were escaping a natural disaster of epic proportions, the Younger Dryas impact theory. Whatever the reason, the risk paid off. The Haslins arrived in an untapped valley. This is what I was asking for, isn't it? This is the story. Or the backstory. They gazed upon rolling green hills, lush forests, fertile black earth, prairies, rivers and lakes teeming with game and fish. The Haslins had found paradise on earth. The 8 tribes of Haslins settled the region and abandoned their roaming, hunting and foraging traditions around 7000 BC. Harvesting the wild forms of cereal and domesticating the herds paved the way for agriculture. Permanent villages were formed and a new sedentary society was born. But through this significant transformation, one tradition remained intact: shamanism. Shamans were widely respected and regarded as individuals who could interact with the spirit world through altered states of consciousness. They had the power to heal the sick, communicate with spirits, and escort souls to the afterlife. Essentially, it was a belief system centered on supernatural phenomena. Early Haslin society relied on the shaman to guide their newfound way of life. However, a mysterious shift in tradition swept across the Hadean Valley, suddenly leaving behind the shamanistic tradition. What caused the 8 Haslin tribes to adopt a monotheistic belief system? The legend of the Eye of God. This mysterious and abrupt change from shamanism to monotheistic belief system remains a mystery. What caused this sudden change from a deeply rooted tradition to a new faith? This mythical narrative is complex. The benevolent god Setheris created humanity and all earthly creatures. He was the first into being, the uncreated, the divine and the light. With him, another came to be, the great two-handed serpent Tania. Jealous of Setheris' creation, the great serpent threatened to destroy all mankind. A great battle ensued, and Setheris defeated Tania. Before dying, Tania sent out a mighty shriek, cursing humanity with overwhelming emotions and intoxicating passions, turning all of Setheris' children into impulsive, irrational and cruel creatures. In desperation, Setherus ripped out his left eye and with it created a haven for his children. It was to be a place where humanity could come and find refuge and protection from which is why it's taking away their emotions. Protection from the curse of Tania. Humanity could always come to the Eye of God and cleanse themselves of all sinful emotions. Setherus, weakened by the battle and his sacrifice, sought refuge in the heavens, creating the bright star Sirius. Setherus promised to return someday and free humanity from the evil serpent's curse. Was all this real, or was it just a myth, a metaphor, a symbol that the Hadeans could hold on to in dire times? It is a symbol to help quell passions and emotions so Hadeans can control themselves before the rage, terror, ecstasy and grief corrupt all. Like most religions, Setherism, no matter how good the message is, ultimately falls prey to the same corruption. Power. Real or not, the Eye of God sent shockwaves through the entire Hadean Valley. At first, the story of a benevolent god, Setherus, was passed on from generation to generation through oral tradition, a custom kept from shamanism. Nearly 1,000 years passed, during which a writing system evolved from primitive pictograms and runes to an official alphabet. With the advent of a written alphabet, several holy passages and interpretations of this new narrative were etched on clay tablets, and later inked on parchments, and we found some of those tablets, I assume, around the map. During this period, around 2200 BC, there was a schism between the 8 tribes of Haslins. Different interpretations and traditions began with each tribe, none more so than the 8th tribe, which outright refused Setherism and opted to worship Tania. They were exiled, and their footprint can still be seen to this day in the Vissa Hills in the form of a grand serpent mound. To avoid such rifts between the remaining tribes, priests of each tribe assembled to amalgamate all holy interpretations into one sacred book. This group of priests was known as the Illigid Conclave, named after the valley where the meeting occurred. The Illigid Conclave focused the new tenets of sacred writings around an ancient figure, a man mentioned under the simple name of Palom. The ancient scriptures described him as the courageous young man who first discovered the Eye of God. The Conclave canonised him as a saint. His holy image rapidly became the centre of their new dogma, and the creed became officially known as Palomism. After many years, the Illigid Conclave created a unifying holy book, the Holy Carta. The theocracy was born as the Conclave proclaimed themselves the rulers of Hadia. According to the new Holy Carta, Setherus as an earthly Saint Palom recognised these individuals as the official rulers by divine right, As religion often goes, theocracy lasted thousands of years. As their power grew, so did the people's oppression, burdened by cruel acts and unjust social restraints, until a young erudite dared to pen a thesis. It all began in 400 AD, with a written thesis reacting to the abuses and indulgences of the Palomist Church. It merely demanded the separation of church and state. The work sparked a comprehensive and durable Reformation movement despite very few copies. This new wave of change grabbed the attention of influential individuals, which only solidified the trend. Reformed churches spread throughout the land, and the new religious denomination was eventually called Sabinism after the thesis' aura, Sabin Gao. Unbeknownst to the Sabinian reformists, the Illigid Conclave had secretly mobilised a holy army and sent it into reformist territories, massacring the innocent and burning every town and village. Upon hearing the news, a beloved Sabinian noble, Conde Collig, raised the first ever Sabinian reformist army. The two armies finally met in the Vissa Hills. Outnumbered 5-1, Conde Collig proved a cunning strategist and inflicted heavy losses on the Holy Army, winning the 3-day battle. The joy of victory was short-lived, as Conde famously said after the fight, "The choice between war and peace does not exist. Truth be told, it's a choice between war and endless war, and I'm afraid we have chosen the latter." Conde Collig couldn't have been more right. On a scale never before seen, cruelty and wickedness deeply scarred the population on both sides of the conflict. Extreme acts of barbarity and savagery were commonplace, and Palomist traditionalists and Sabinian reformists were trapped in a never-ending cycle of destruction. War raged across the land for 200 years with little repose. Several attempts at peace failed and were very short-lived. Deeply rooted hatred and the thirst for shedding the other side's blood seemed inconsolable. Sadly, this holy war was only the beginning. Interesting. And yet there is more, because we still have research items that we have not found. But that gives a massive chunk of the backstory. How something like the Eye of God, you know, a massive thing that they found. I mean, it all depends on the limbic stuff, realistically, doesn't it? You know, that chicken and the egg thing. How did they forge the weapons to kill the first?
Well, looks like we're back after all. Looks like Rue is still here, unfortunate.
How did they forge the weapons to first kill the Limbics? Where did this stuff come from? There's also still, down here, the entire section over here that's behind a locked gate, which I don't think I found the passcode for. You know, there's a yellow thing over there, which is generally important. It's like this is the kind of stuff that, now that I've basically covered the game world, I think I've had my fill. I've certainly got my money's worth. What's that pointing to? Over here. Yeah, I've enjoyed Hell Is Us. But I do now need to go and get stuff sorted. A very odd game. It's left some questions open at the end. It's certainly left the possibility of a sequel, or you know, some kind of follow-up. That was the one that I hadn't killed. Let's go and close this. Yeah, the time loops are an interesting thing, because it's clear that they can be made because they were doing experiments to do so. So they're created where something horrendous happens, some kind of atrocity.
No one is allowed in or out of Jova. Go back to the town.
Oh, we weren't aware.
Hang on. Ethnic cards, please. Shoot them! No one is allowed in or out of Jova. Go back to the town.
Oh, we weren't aware.
Hang on.
Yeah, just people killing each other. The senseless. The senselessness of the slaughter of the two sides of a war fighting over shock horror, land, and beliefs. Yeah, I spoke very briefly about the role of religion in such a high percentage of the conflicts across human history. And this all seems to be, you know, carried through here. I mean, and it leads to shit like this. I think this has been a very realistic and sensitive, arguably, portrayal of war. You know, this hasn't been glorified. This hasn't been treated as some kind of fun, epic conflict for us to do our thing against. No, the game is called Hell Is Us, and the game has proved in many ways that hell is us. We don't need... Human beings don't need supernatural shit to do bad stuff to each other. We don't need to do it in the name of religion. It can be done in, you know, greed, anger, grief, fear. You know, the 7 deadly sins and all of that stuff are part and parcel of the human condition. And I think this has done a pretty good job of exploring just what human beings can be like. I'm going to leave it there. I will come back and play more of this and finish off the bits and pieces, because I do like, you know, filling out my logs and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to record that. I think I have hopefully gotten across my feelings on the game. The combat is fine. The exploration was good. The storytelling is mixed. You know, there's some really good environmental storytelling. There's a lot of reading, a lot of audio logs. There's a lot of stuff. And just like everything else in the game, I think it's going to be too much for some people. People that don't like world building. I'm glad we got that narrative thing at the end. But I'd like to know, actually, is there do we have a way of... Yeah, see, there are multiple Tania's articles. So we've only got that one. And I need to find the rest in order to unlock the rest of the articles, which I'm assuming will really kind of flesh out the understanding. So I need to find some more research items, because it looks like there's going to be quite a lot more to fill out for that, which is cool, because it is clear that a lot of time and effort and thought was put into it. I'm going to go. Thank you very much for joining me. If there is any more after this cut off, maybe I'll have found something. I've no idea when I'm going to get around to editing this. We'll have to see. But I really enjoyed Hell Is Us. That's been my journey, quote unquote, so far. Definitely worth your time. An unfortunate release time, however. But again, it's not like there's a massive crossover, I wouldn't think, between this and Silksong, but obviously, you know, this is me we're talking about. Have a great day, folks. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.